How's it going, MGTOW community? This is Urban MGTOW here with my first video. Just a man going his own way, here trying to get my opinions and thoughts out to the world. Hopefully you guys reciprocate and like what you have to hear. Well, my first topic today is going to be one that seems kind of like it's been touched already, but I'm gonna go at it a little bit different. That topic is, of course, the young cat lady. So most people would say that a cat lady is probably older, between the ages of 40, 50, 60, even early 30s sometimes, or late 30s, I apologize. But I've noticed through recent social events and just looking particularly just at the women that I work with, I've noticed an increase in pet ownership within these younger women versus back in the day when I was a little bit younger, when they were mainly focused on having boyfriends. So I noticed today that the young women are kind of starting to not look like they did a generation ago. Definitely not as feminine. Petite is a word that's probably gone, like the name Gertrude. Most women are usually slightly larger than their male counterparts. I mean, like as far as BMI and weight, not as in like size differential, because obviously we're sexually dimorphic species, so men on average, or generally speaking at least, are bigger than women physically. But yes, for these women, they believe in the 80-20 rule, and most of the time, because of new social media adverts such as Tinder and Snapchat and other social media platforms, these usually lower sexual marketplace value women now have a greater pool of men to choose from, which almost a generation ago wouldn't have been the case, where these now portly girls once would have been laughed at or shamed at school, or just really didn't have the pick of the litter, now kind of have the choice and options to pursue who they want. But because of this, it's also led to men being able to use women more frequently. And what I mean by that is that back in the day, a man had to court a woman, tell her he likes her, jump through a bunch of hoops, take her out, before he could even attempt to have sex with her or present that option on the table. That's where now, because women are empowered and they're liberated and they want to be just like men, it requires them to bring one of their only bargaining chips to the table very, very early in order to secure men now, which is their vagina. Yeah, women have to give their vagina up a lot sooner and a lot faster now to have the pretense of keeping a man around, because women now are so loose and promiscuous that they have sex with multiple partners now, to where back in the day that wasn't the case, or at least it wasn't as widespread. So just like the free market regulates anything, sexual encounters are pretty much the same if you look at them as business transactions or anything of that nature. Anything that comes to the consumer too easily, cheap and affordable, probably won't be good and probably be overused. as to where something that's kept private and you have to work harder for it, you'll definitely enjoy it more and you'll see the value of it, so you'll want to hold on to it for longer. Well, because women no longer value themselves and they feel that they're entitled to whatever man they want and they can sleep with whoever they want due to the sexual revolution, and feminism. Sorry if I'm pausing every now and then. I'm kind of working at the same time that I'm recording this. I do apologize for the keyboard and mouse clicking in the background. But yes, because of this new dynamic in social interactions, men and women see each other differently. And men no longer have to do the courting rituals that we once had to. So now the pump and dump culture has grown exponentially and men are able to satisfy themselves a lot easier than in present generations where we had to work harder to get women. But the side effects of the sexual revolution and women pretty much devaluing themselves means that the 20% of men that they're chasing, those alphas out there, you know who you are, they now can't get those 20% of men and are unable to lower their standards due to self-esteem and narcissism to go down to the 80% of men that they are not attracted to. They now are resorting to use cats as their emotional tampons and leech off of them for their emotional support. Younger ladies now, I see pretty much at my job, and people that come in, see women from the ages of 18 to 32. They all have multiple pets, single, living by themselves, working, which to me is kind of awkward because it's doesn't make any sense. You're getting all these pets, but you're never at home taking care of them, so they're highly untrained, usually the ones that are biting the employees at the location that I work at or whatnot. Also, these women, like I said, are usually dolled up with makeup, but their bodies don't say the same thing that their makeup is trying to portray, as in they have a lot of makeup on, but they're still obese, sometimes even morbidly obese. These women are able to cure their lust for attention with these animals for a short amount of time, but eventually even the attention of just this one animal isn't enough. So in order to boost their self-esteem, these women will sometimes get a second pet. So the two animals now have to compete for the woman's affection. I know this sounds kind of weird, but if you think about it, women used to use men in this way. They would have one man in the friend zone and one man they were going after, and they would use the man in the friend zone to shit test the man that they wanted to be with by inviting both of them to a location at the same time, or perhaps having a hangout at a mutual friend's location and both people showing up. Just different forms of trickery like that. But now that men have kind of woken up to that and we no longer need to court or anything of that nature to really have sex with women or just to get their attention, period, women are now using their dual pet ownership, as I like to call it, to have competition between the animals to gain the affection of the woman. Kind of, not really morally, correct or anything of that nature, but what are morals in 2018, right? When this form of attention and the seeking of attention no longer garnishes the same results when the animals are a little older and have lost their puppy or cat look. These